for this shit, I'm tryna get paid. Said it's money on my mind, bitch, and it's gotta get made. I was finna go this way, till you went that way.
Musically, what is like your end goal, or what's like your intention with music? I know everyone makes music to like have fun. You make music to have fun, you make it on the spot, but like do you have like an end goal, or like something that when it happens you're like that's what you're aiming at?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say that there's just one, because like
For sure.
I feel like every time I reach my next goal, like there's more.
Right.
But like I would say like my biggest goal, the thing that I would feel most fulfilled by, at least right now, hey, here we go.
Thank you.
Would be like writing or helping write a hit song, like a number one song, especially like because the part of music that I love the most is songwriting.
Right.
So I think having like my songwriting ability, whether it's my own song or somebody else's song that I help write, just having that acknowledged on like a high level would be like probably one of my biggest goals.
Yeah.
I would say.
Would you prefer if you made the song, or would you prefer?
I'd probably prefer if I made the song.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, I would still feel like
the same accomplishment.
Yeah, I would feel very accomplished by that. And I think both would make me feel accomplished in different ways. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'd like to do both. I'd really like to have one of my own songs, chart and do really well. Number one,
and then the song written for someone else, number two.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be the craziest shit.
That'd be at the same time. That would be wild.
Yeah,
that would be wild.
Okay, they brought out some fucking tortilla chips, guac with I think pomegranate seeds. Pomegranate. And some salsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we? Let's check this out.
Yeah, let's try this bitch out. I'm super hyped. What the fuck?
Like I said, I love guacamole, so this is. That's good guac. Some good guac.
The sweetness from the pomegranate seed,
it complements it nicely, right?
Fucking me up. It honestly doesn't need salsa, but I'm about to try some.
No, the salsa's real good too.
This is honestly a banger. I did not expect this.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm putting you on with this restaurant, bro. We're at probably my favorite Mexican restaurant in LA, and that's saying something because LA has good Mexican food. But this place is a banger.
I've been telling Kenny that I want Mexican food so bad, like some fucking enchiladas, like because there's the street Mexican food, like the tacos, the quick shit, and then the high-end ones. And then there's ones like these that are like just Mexican families usually that came up enough that they can have a restaurant and like do it the way they want to do it. Those are my favorite ones.
And I love street Mexican food. Like
of course.
I love to eat that. But if you're looking for like a sit-down spot, this is it, bro. And just in general, like I said, the El Pastor here, I haven't had better El Pastor. Like,
okay. I'm going to take you up on it.
Nah, bro. Because I love El Pastor. I order it like most Mexican restaurants that I go to. And it never touches it. So far, if somebody, thank you. If somebody knows a better Al Pastor place in LA than this, and you've been to this one, and so drop it in the comments. Like, let us know. Because I want to know. Like,
I want to know too. I genuinely want to know.
But if not, then, I'm putting you on.
I haven't tried this one. Obviously, you brought me here. Yeah. I was honestly shocked when you said where you wanted to eat.
Really?
Because, like, I don't know. I feel like
where'd you think I would want to eat?
I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid and stereotypical because I thought you was gonna choose like some Canadian. I know they have like
where's a Canadian restaurant here?
In Hollywood. I don't know if they closed it, but they do. What's the cheese things called?
Oh, poutine. That shit is fire.
They do poutine and curds.
Okay,
is that what that's called?
I might know the place you're talking about because
it's not great. But it's on Hollywood.
There is like a place that I've been to. I think it's in Hollywood where they say that they like import the curds from Canada.
I don't know about that.
It was good, but it's not like Canadian poutine.
Is the curd is the cheese?
Yeah,
balls?
It's just like I guess it's just a specific way that they make the cheese. I don't know.
Is that a part of poutine or it's poutine and curds?
No. It's a part of poutine. Like a real poutine is French fries with brown gravy.
That's what, yeah.
And cheese curds. And like
that shit sounds butter.
Places in America, they'll try to make poutine and put like shredded cheese on it.
And some cheddar cheese and shit.
It's only cheese curds. It's got to be the white cheese curds. Like I'm not sure if they're not Wisconsin cheese curds because they're from Canada, but yeah.
Right. But it's all very north.
Yep.
There's something about the north and gravy and cheese.
I don't know what it is. Bro, that shit is so popular in Canada. You can literally go to like McDonald's and Burger King and get it's on the menu. Yeah.
Bro, that's honestly one of my my dreams, but also just something I do a lot is anytime I go out of state or out of country, you always got to hit the McDonald's because every single one has something different. Bro,
Especially in other countries.
New York has bagels.
Yeah.
Like bagel sandwiches.
I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, bro. There's I was just in Chicago a couple months ago, and there's like a McDonald's there that has
A hot dog.
no, it has food from all over, like from all the different ones all over the world. It's like a big ass.
It's a famous one.
It's like it's like a big mall.
I've heard about it.
It's crazy.
What is that? I do want to remember for
I
later.
forget what it's called.
I just saw that on TikTok.
It's like
Someone went
downtown.
there.
It's like the downtown McDonald's in Chicago, and it's huge.
Okay.
I'm sure if you look that up, like big
I'm gonna check it
McDonald's
out.
downtown Chicago,
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna write a note for sure. McDonald's is like easily my favorite fast food spot.
I seen you saying that on.
What do you think yours is?
Like nationwide fast food?
Universal wide. You know, number one fast food spot that if anyone like was like this isn't good, you're gonna be like you're fucking tripping.
Thank you so much. I guess what I mean is, does it count if it's just like a regional? Can I say like a regional one, or
you can say anyone?
Okay.
The one that when you think of fast food, like if an alien was to come to Earth, you're gonna show them this spot. They're gonna say, "Show me the best fast food." You're gonna show them this spot.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so the question was my favorite fast food. So
your favorite fast food. If an alien came, that's my real question. If an alien came here and they said, "Take me,"
this is a hard question because I like fast food. I got stuff the lime in here.
Here,
I think cheers.
Salud.
Cheers. Thank you, bro. I think I have to say In-N-Out because of taste and considering the price and consistency. For a fast food burger, it's pretty hard to beat. There's places that it's just different. Like I love Fat Burger too, but in a different way. Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I want to say, and I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but I don't consider In-N-Out fast food.
I feel you because it's almost
too good. It's too good.
Okay, so
I want that unhealthy fast food.
If you're talking about just like what
some greasy, gross
everyone
shit,
considers
and
fast
they're
food,
probably gonna miss 3 out of 4 times.
I'm not gonna lie, Wendy's, bro.
Oh, you did tell me that. You told me Wendy's.
Wendy's burgers are really good.
Wendy's burgers are good.
They're good, yeah. I mean, I don't really order that much else there.
Yeah.
But the burgers don't really miss at Wendy's.
The burgers don't miss. You know what throws me off about Wendy's? It's like 3 key things that I refuse to put Wendy's in my top categories, and they're very specific. I swear, I've thought about it for a long time. One, their dollar menu stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Right. Compared to
there's like a junior bacon cheeseburger that's like all right.
And it's not great.
Yeah.
Compared to their $10 burger, which is amazing. I don't like that gap.
Well, you're gonna spend more money at Wendy's.
I don't like that gap. I like that McDonald's, like it's not a dollar menu anymore. Yeah. It's like $3, but I like from 3 to 6. They're both great. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And like if you use the McDonald's app,
it's down.
Bro, like you can get a Big Mac meal for like $6.
Yeah,
that's pretty
for sure.
good.
And it's cheaper than it used to be. It used to be 8 or 9.
Exactly. So no, McDonald's. You know, McDonald's is McDonald's. Like,
it's
reliable. It's like old reliable. You know what I mean?
Wendy's. It's the dollar menu that throws me off.
Yeah.
For it just not, it's sucking. And then I've seen too many videos and stuff. I don't know if you've seen them of like people finding like a finger in their chili.
Oh
type
no!
Shit. You remember that?
Don't say that. Don't tell me that.
Have you seen that?
I don't remember a finger.
It was a thing.
Crazy. I remember someone finding something in their chili.
It was a thing. They found a cut off finger in the chili, and then ever since then, people are like, "Don't eat the chili."
Now I don't know if I want to go back to Wendy's.
I don't want to fuck you up. Like, they are good. I had a Baconator like 2 weeks ago.
Baconators are good.
They're butts, but those things are the reasons. Like when people say great fast food, I can't like put it there. I have to I have to put it in the second round.
I'll tell you this. I don't really like. I don't hate Burger King, but like that's probably the fast food place I go to the least.
Same.
Like I never go to Burger King.
Same.
And you know, I've had like a Whopper there and been like, all right, this was decent, but otherwise, a lot of their shit there is trash. Not to hate on Burger King, but
hatefully out there, Burger King, you need a revamp because I agree. The burgers are like there's probably 2 things on them. There's probably 2 things on the menu that you're like, great. Everything else is like, why did I order this? That's what I don't like when you get a burger and you're like, I should have just cooked at home. That's the worst feeling.
Yeah, that is the worst, bro.
Speaking about good food, though, what do you think of the guacamole here? And have you had it before today?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of it, and like how do you rate it in terms of like guacamole?
This is a really good guacamole. I would give it like at least an 8 out of 10. It pretty much hits all my. First of all, like I love when guacamole is like somewhere between chunky and smooth like this.
Of course,
it's perfect. It doesn't have like too many ingredients. It's just got like, you know, the bare minimum of what you need for guacamole. And then I love the papaya seeds because it just kind of takes it there. You know, it's different.
The pomegranate seed throw me. You're good, bro. I'm just like because I've been thinking about it. Even the color they add to it.
Yeah.
To me, makes it exceptional. So like personally, I'd give it like.
Right. It makes it pretty. Like
I give it a 9 out of 10 just off never having seen it and it being such a simple thing.
I think 9 is a good rating, honestly. Yeah.
I feel like it's something that like they actually cook and they had them around and they're like, let's throw some in and see what it does.
It's just different.
And the sweet little burst, it reminds me of boba, like a popping boba.
It is like that, yeah. No, I remember the first time I ordered it here, I was like, oh, that's different. And I tried it, I was like, that's good.
My man Heppy, shout out Heppy, he brought it out here. I don't know if he's charging us. either he think we got money, so he's not charging us, or he think we got money, so he just bringing everything out.
Yeah.
Either way, we gonna hook him up because I'm fucking with the vibe.
No, this place is dope.
But you know, something I do want to ask you about, just because, and I don't want to talk too much about music because it's obvious you make music. I want to talk more about you, but I am curious for the songwriting thing you said earlier, like having a hit song with the artist. Is who are like your top 3 people that you want to reach out to you? Not even like you have to like do so much to get to them, but like you're popping, they're popping, and they're like, I need Trip to write this shit. Who would you want to pull up on it? Who do you think you would do the best for?
That's a good question. There's so many different, because I like to write different kinds of music. So
that's what I'm saying. Who do you think you would snap? That they'd be like, fuck, the whole world, like, I just want to rock vibes. Like, the whole world is like,
right.
I just want to do this right now.
I've always really wanted to write for, like, a real singer, because I love to write melodic music.
For sure.
And I'm, like, a decent enough singer, but, you know, I got to use auto-tune. Like, I'm not...
You're a good singer. You're a good singer.
Thank you. But I'm not no R&B singer. I'm not no fucking, you know...
Chris Brown.
Yeah, exactly. So I would love to write for, like... I'm trying to think who's, like, one of my favorite singers right now.
And do you have a preference on girl or guy?
No. Yeah. I would want to write for both women and men. I mean, obviously, like, as a man myself, it's a little easier to write for a man. But I don't know. At the same time, I feel like you can, like...
And things are switching so much now. I hear gangster music from girls. I hear calm shit from dudes.
No, actually, it's funny. Like, most of the opportunities I've had to, like, submit for artists has been women, actually. Mm-hmm. Like, female rappers and shit.
Who want the bars.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
So, I'm not going to lie, like... One of my all-time idols. I know he's a touchy subject now, but Kanye.
He's not touchy, bro. I'm a Kanye fan too. This is a Kanye stan account. If you don't like Kanye,
I'm a huge Kanye fan. I grew up listening to Kanye. He's one of my biggest influences. For sure. And I've always wanted to be able to get in the studio with him and work with him. Yeah. Even if it is just writing on one of his. I would love to write on one of his songs. I think that would be awesome, honestly.
Yeah, I think the moment I learned that Kanye doesn't write all his shit, I was like blown away, but also like. That makes sense because he's a producer. Yeah. And just like Travis Scott, they're more focused on the total of the song versus I spit this 8 bars. I wrote that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and I think a lot of big artists have writers in the room. Like, yes, Kanye like takes reference tracks and stuff like that. But, you know, from what I've heard and the stuff I've heard, like, that are references and stuff like that, like, he still changes stuff and adds his own.
For sure. He's going to make it him like at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I think, sometimes I was just talking about this in an interview I did the other day. Sometimes I think that in hip-hop, and I totally understand the precedent of not wanting ghostwriters or not wanting someone to write stuff for you because it's a personal genre where you're supposed to be telling your own story.
You don't want to get lost.
Giving your own perspective, definitely. But I think sometimes artists are a little too closed off to like having any kind of collaboration or influence in songwriting. I think it's okay to, you know, at least let people give their opinions and give their, you know, their ideas and to at least like take that into consideration because sometimes you might be missing out on a great idea just because your ego
made for you.
Exactly.
Meant for you.
Exactly. And you could put your own touches on it and really make it match you, especially because songwriters know how to write for other artists a lot of times.
That's their specialty.
So if you're just completely like, no, I will never take another word from somebody, I'll never take a melody from somebody, nothing, then you might be blocking your blessings a little bit because sometimes the universe works in interesting ways. God works in mysterious ways, you know what I mean? So I think
that's a good point.
It's good to have a middle ground, you know what I mean?
That's a solid point. You make me think of 2 things. One, I know Lil Yachty wrote City Girls. Yeah. What is it?
He wrote Act Up.
Act Up, which is their biggest shit ever. That's kind of their only shit.
I mean,
no offense, City Girls. Like,
they had some other shit, but that was the one that put them on the map.
And just, I love how you said, like, if you don't take that chance, you might miss your blessings. Because what if they were like, Yachty? Like, they could have even, like, not just, I don't want a writer. They could have been like him, of all people. But instead, they rocked with it. And they all got to shine. Yachty's so sick.
Bro.
That, and then the other thing you made me think of is, I love how you're saying, like, you cannot just be like, I will not do this. Because you make me think of 2 artists. I don't even know if they do this, but I think of them. And it's Eminem and Logic.
Eminem has writers on his songs.
He does? Oh, okay. I had no idea. Him and Logic give me the vibe that they'd be like, nah, I'm not taking that.
I don't know about Logic. Because I don't know that much about Logic, to be honest. But if you look at Eminem's albums, like, there's multiple writers on a lot of his songwriting credits.
I didn't know that.
And they're probably not penning his bars and stuff, but, you know, doing hooks.
Right.
Helping
adding vibe.
I mean, first of all, you're a songwriter even if you're a producer, because you're still writing part of the song. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, like, and first of all, let it be known, like, I write all my own shit. Like, but what I am saying is that there have been times where I'm in the studio and my engineer might be like, "Oh, try this harmony, or try. What if you did after that melody you just did? What if you tried this melody? Like, you know what I mean?"
Right.
And if somebody comes to me with a good idea, or even like I'm trying to finish a rhyme and someone's like, "Well, what if you said this?"
Right.
If somebody comes to me with a good idea, I think I'd look like an idiot to be like, "No, I'm not going to do that just because I didn't come up with it." You know what I mean?
It sounds greedy and selfish. Organic.
A little bit, like, and I'm not trying to put that on any artist, but because like I said, I do understand in hip hop that's kind of just like a precedent that's been set. You don't you write your own shit, but I'm talking more even about just like hooks.
The song in general.
Yeah, like write your own verses, like, you know what I mean. Like,
right.
But
if you're gonna say you wrote it,
exactly. But don't be afraid to take input and let other people. You know, two heads are better than one, so it's good to let other people put their input in and kind of help take the song to a place you might not have.
You couldn't envision if you wanted to.
Exactly. Because other people have a different perspective than you know?
I feel like people forget, too, that, like, originally music, before rap was ever invented, before any lyrics were even added to music, the point of music was to bring people together.
Yeah.
From, like, the Native American tribal circles to, like, orchestras.
There's no...
you can't make a piano sound on a tuba. Like, you have to combine the sounds
Until the computer got invented, you had to basically play with a band or in a band. Thank you so much. Oh, that's right here. Thank you.
Okay. Are you guys sharing? Do you need extra plates?
We'll be sharing everything. Yeah. You down to share?
Yeah. You know.
Let's put this out the way. We're getting everything to go to. I don't like whenever they're like, "You want me to get these out of the way?" No, I'm eating those too.
Right.
So they just brought out the salmon tacos.
Yes, sir.
2 tacos.
These are one of my favorites.
They're fucking fat.
They're big.
Can we talk? I didn't know.
They stacked them up.
I didn't know they was gonna be like that. I like that. Like like you said, I've never seen salmon tacos at a place, and I love that they're generous.
Yep.
This
is the spot for salmon tacos. I think this is the first place I saw it at too, and I love salmon and I love fish tacos. So when I saw it, I was like, I'm coming back here.
Okay, I fucked up because I didn't pray before I eat the chips. Sometimes I forget about appetizers.
No, I feel you, bro.
But yeah, are you down to pray?
Let's pray.
Okay,
bro.
Let's do a quick prayer. You or me?
Here. I thank you, God, for bringing us together for this interview and for this amazing food. And please bless us and everybody in our lives. Amen.
Amen. Namaste. Kaptu Makta.
Yes, sir.
I'm hyped. Let's fuck it up. Let's get into it.
Hell yeah.
Have you had this before?
Yes, sir. This is one of my favorite dishes.
Let me see.
So, like, what I like to do is I take the bottom tortilla off.
Okay.
Sometimes they stick together a little bit too much, though. But let me see if I can do it. Nah, they hella stuck together. Yeah. Never mind. I'm going to just eat it.
You separate them usually?
Yeah, I usually make it into 2 tacos with each piece of fish.
That's not a bad idea.
Because then it's less messy. But you know what? Fuck it.
Oh, fuck.
Bro. Come on now. What'd I say, bro? This place is fire.
Something I don't think you knew about me. I don't think you could have known unless, like, I talked to you about it.
Word.
Fucking love fish tacos.
There you go, bro.
Any type of fish taco.
Oh, thank you. Here, we can.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
But maybe you need to round.
Oh, okay. Right. Yep. You're smart.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Woo.
Yeah, there's no way you could have known that, like, fish tacos is my favorite, and I've never had a salmon taco.
There you go, bro.
So, like, I didn't even know they was doing this. It makes sense, though.
It's next level, bro. You know what would be so good? Have you ever had fried salmon? It's rare to find, but
I want to say, yeah, I've definitely heard of it. I feel like I had it at the fair.
It's good. I don't know why more people don't do it. Probably because it's already kind of a fatty fish, so, like, people are, like,
for sure,
not trying to make it super unhealthy. But yo, fried salmon fish tacos would go crazy. These go hard though. Like the sauce they put on here,
incredible.
It's so good.
It's like a chipotle tartar.
Yeah,
it's exactly what I like to do whenever I do my tartar. I like to. People don't know, like, tartar it's basically mayo. So
yeah,
at any time
mayo,
you can
like
add
relish.
You can add any flavor to it,
mm-hmm.
and it'll just amp it. Like most of the time, like, it's that plain, but it still has, like, that fattiness to it. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing you say things like fatty fish, and you said something earlier, and I'm like, wow, you're kind of a foodie.
I love food, bro.
Do you consider yourself a foodie?
I love food. I used to be fat.
That don't mean you. All right. I guess you.
I like food, bro.
Yeah, no, I guess
I'm
you're
not gonna lie. That's something a lot of people don't know about me. That when at the end of high school, I wasn't like huge.
I wish you were just for fun.
I've lost like I'm probably like 40 or 50 pounds lighter
40,
than I was
50 pounds
at one point.
That's a huge amount.
That's pretty
Anyone
good.
who like is on the weight loss journey, they'll tell you anything over 20 is like you're making strides. Like it's noticeable.
Oh, yeah. And this was a long time. This was at the end of high school.
Still.
Like when I finished high school, I started smoking weed every single day. And I just started eating like trash, and I would drink hella soda. I love soda. I don't drink any soda really anymore. I mean, I'll have it occasionally, but like for a long time, I didn't drink it at all.
Okay.
And now I kind of don't like it as much. Now I just like have it as like a treat every once in a while.
I'm like,
but
I personally like, I love when people are different sizes. Mm-hmm. Like I've just always liked, I love seeing a super fat person if they're cool with it, and I love seeing super skinny people. I just think it's like such a character.
No, yeah.
How did you feel like? Can I call it Fat Trip? Is that wrong? Yeah, how did you feel as Fat Trip? Like
honestly, bro, the reason I wanted to lose weight is because I felt tired all the time.
Felt unhealthy.
And I didn't feel healthy. Like
it makes sense.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like I eat what I want. I still eat well.
Yeah.
I just was really overdoing it back then. So like this is me at more of a healthy weight, and I still got a little bit of a gut. But you know what I mean? Like this is like what it looks like for me to eat what I want, but not be like stuff in my face. Like literally.
There's definitely a level like in eating, like enjoying yourself and then just eating to eat. You know what I mean? That is like a dangerous point to be at. So I get you on.
And
that.
I exercise more now.
Yeah. What kind of exercise you doing? Cardio?
I lift weights and do cardio. Okay. I'm not like, you know, in the gym every day.
I was gonna say, bro, you're surprising me. Like you're a foodie. You in the gym every day. You said didn't you work out before this?
I did, but hold up. I'm not super consistent. I probably work out like 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
So it's like decent. I definitely try to get that cardio in because that helps me with like being on stage and shit like that.
Stamina is so important.
But I do want to keep lifting weights because I want to get to a point where I can be like more lean. I don't want to be like buff, but I do want to have more defined muscles.
Have that fit look.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
So they brought out, what is this?
This is the Al Pastor quesadilla. This should go hard. And then this is the mole enchiladas.
With carnitas
I've definitely tried this. I don't think I've ever ordered this myself. But I've been with somebody who ate this and tried it. It was really good.
Did you, so we're at EK Valley. Did you know it was Oaxacan or you just thought it was Mexican?
Well, I've known since I came here. I think the first time I came here, I don't know if I knew it was Oaxacan.
Did they tell you at some point? Or
well, the first time I came, I saw it on the sign or on the menu when I first came here. Because the first time I came here, my homegirl, who doesn't live that far from here, put me on. This is like one of her favorite spots.
Is she Mexican?
No, she's not.
Damn, they hitting all races. I love it.
Yeah, no. If you like good food, you'll be
here.
Yeah, exactly. So she put me on and took us here one time, me and my girlfriend. And ever since then, it's been one of my favorite spots. Like, yeah.
Ever since I learned about like Oaxacan culture, it always amazes me because they specialize in mole, which is like a chocolate sauce.
It's really interesting,
but it's not sweet. Not super sweet.
It's got an interesting taste.
It has a very interesting taste.
It's almost savory, which is really interesting.
It's something like you take a bite, like it's so interesting because like I feel like Oaxacan culture and food, it's considered like a very cheap food by American standards. But this prepared like this, depending where it's served, people would pay the $300-$400. Like if this was a fine dining New York restaurant, this looks crazy. It looks like some shit that like you're like, what sauce is this? Mole, and it's like, oh, okay, you feel educated.
They got the sour cream drizzled on there, bro.
The drizzle, and then I love how they do this with little bowls. They like cup the rice and flip it.
They played it nicely, you know what I mean? It's all pretty here. Like this place, you can't go wrong here. And the prices are not crazy. Like honestly, like
anything in LA under 30 is like expected.
It's pretty good, yeah.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah, let's dig into it. What should we do first? Mole or quesadillas?
Let's try. I want you to try this El Pastor, bro.
Let's do the fucking
El Pastor. Goes crazy.
El Pastor is my favorite meat.
Me too. Like Mexican, at least in Mexican food for sure.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to like fuck it up too much, but I like to kind of scoop both.
Here, let me take this shit off. It looked messy in the best way. I love messy food.
Every time I eat here, bro, it's crazy. I always get Al Pastor juice all over my hands, and then the rest of the day, I'll be like smelling my fingers.
Yeah, you gotta start sucking up.
Thank you so much.
Right here's good. Yeah, thank you so much.
Because it doesn't come out.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's crazy. Like you can wash your hands, you'll still smell the Al Pastor on them.
Once I learned about El Pastor, and they put pineapples on the fucking inside. Is that right?
I think so.
I think they do here.
I can't remember. Some places definitely do that.
This bitch finna blitz. It got fucking pineapples, Al Pastor, the mozzarella cheese.
Over here too.
They just throwing guacamole left and right. They got it by the bundle. I need I gotta deck this with y'all. Okay, let me do one bite, no extras, and then I gotta deck one out.
Yeah.
I'm honestly too excited to eat.
You gotta just taste it because it's good, bro. Yeah. He knows what's up. Oh shit, this is your napkin. My bad. We probably need.
They got us fucking delusional, dog. The fucking
Can't even
holy shit, bro.
That's good, right?
It tastes like pizza randomly,
right?
Like in a really good way. I think it's because they put a lot of cheese.
Yeah, it's cheesy.
But it's working because how greasy it is.
But the taste, like the seasoning on that al pastor, it's like juicy, bro. Like,
you know what type of food this is?
What?
They want us to tip. That food is so good. They dropping it off like.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna let you do this. I feel like some restaurants I go to, they make it like they don't give a fuck if you come back.
Yeah.
This is like we'll see you tomorrow.
Exactly.
Wow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
My last bite, I have to deck it out. I know it doesn't need it, but if it goes crazier, I might scream.
It goes good with the little toppings and shit.
Fuck, man. I'm like racking my brain right now trying to figure out if I do know a better al pastor than this. And this is just the quesadilla, which is crazy because I'm sure the taco is even softer. Just like even more melts in your mouth.
The taco is so good because you have no other, like it's just the al pastor and you see how really good
you really taste it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. With quesadillas, you definitely get lost in the cheese.
The first time I ever came here, I got al pastor tacos. That was what really like put me on. You know what I mean? There we go. Yes, sir. No, I'm glad you like it, bro.
Holy shit.
I was like, I hope I don't like take him here, and he's like, I don't even like this. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I like whenever someone shows me a food spot.
Yeah.
And I don't fuck with it.
Oh, you like it?
Because I'm competitive.
Oh.
And then I'm a foodie.
You'd be like, oh, my food is better. Yeah.
I'd be like, this is good to you, and they'd be like, it's the best. That's the best.
Well,
I
showed you I had taste.
I'm like, I'm gonna show you somewhere, and then I take them, and usually they're like, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. This is crazy.
Nah, bro. I will say, like, everything you put me onto food wise, like.
What's your favorite one? I don't know what I put you onto.
Well, okay. So it's crazy because I knew about Sprout sandwiches like years ago. I had an ex who used to like them.
Right.
But I kind of forgot about him. I forgot about them because she was like, so like, just we ended things badly.
Whatever on it.
So like it kind of was like associated in my head. So I just never went to Sprouts anymore because she loves Sprouts.
I feel that.
Now, you reminded me about them when you kind of went viral with your Sprout sandwich thing. Shout out to Sprouts.
Yeah.
And so I went back for the first time in years, and I was like, yo, I forgot how fucking good these were. That's like the spot for a good sandwich, like way better than any like, Subway or fucking.
It actually tastes like you made it.
Yeah, it tastes like
homemade.
Homemade sandwich. Yeah.
Subway, whenever I eat it, it feels like fast food.
It does. It is.
It is. But it feels like on that level of like Burger
I completely feel
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like I'm so knowledgeable on the fact because I used to fuck up Subway when they was really doing the $5 footlongs. Like every day was a different footlong.
Yo, that was.
I was in that bitch three days a week. Like I was fucking up. I'd have some for later.
I was just thinking about that. Like $5 footlongs was a thing, and it doesn't seem that long ago, but it kind of was a while ago.
At least probably like 10 years. It was booming.
It was like the not maybe the early 2000s, but like it was before like 2010. I feel like
I was gonna say it was a 2010 like a G6 era. I feel like I was like a G6 with a fucking footlong on the side of me. Let's
G6.
Real quick. What would you rate these? I know you said they're the best, but like for the people, these Al Pastor quesadillas from EK Valley, what would you rate them? And what do you love about it?
The quesadilla itself is it's a 9, bro. Like the Al Pastor is a 10. The actual El Pastor is a 10.
Okay.
It goes hard.
I love that answer.
The tacos are so good.
Okay.
And then the quesadilla is, I love how it's like, the tortilla is a little bit crispy,
right?
But it's still got softness.
It's got that cheese grill on the bottom.
The cheese grill, exactly. It's got the, everything's melted and like you pull it, the cheese kind of
right.
pulls
I had the cheese
bit.
pull on my last bite.
Exactly. Like this is, how can you go wrong with this? You know.
I honestly love your answer. I'm gonna make one change because I think it's better than a 9. Genuinely, okay. I think it's like a 9.4, 9.5.
There we go. Okay.
I was gonna say 10, but you bring up such a solid point of the Al Pastor is a 10. The quesadilla, not that crazy. It's delicious. Past a 9.
It's a quesadilla. Yeah.
Past a 9. But if they would do like one different thing to it, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be 10. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me. Like a 10 is like pretty hard to achieve. You got to be perfect.
Do you have it at 10 of any food? Have you ever had a 10?
Yes.
What was it? Don't say your mom's casserole.
No, my nonna.
Okay.
My Italian grandmother makes the best fucking lasagna I've ever had in my life.
Nothing wrong with it.
There's
Is what you're saying.
No, I'll eat it all day, every day for my whole life if I was able to.
Is Nona still with us?
Yes. She
okay,
is.
and
she lives in Montreal, Canada.
We gotta
so
try.
I only
we gotta
get to
do.
See her. Yo,
we gotta do a Montreal trip.
That would be awesome because she would. First of all, she loves when people eat her food. So
I'm
she
sure.
would probably love that. Yeah, I mean, she's basically ruined lasagna for me. Like
I feel that.
I've tried to eat lasagna, and I've had decent lasagna at a restaurant or some shit like that, but it's just not.
It don't add up.
And she like makes the pasta by hand. She grows the tomatoes in her garden.
I was gonna say she probably spends all day making it.
She does. That's all she does is grow and cook food. Like,
that's fire. So, that's the dream, honestly. That's one of my dreams for sure.
No, she's cool and she makes really good food. So yeah.
Is Nona her name or like an Italian term or Canadian term?
Nona means grandmother in Italian.
Okay.
And then her name is Yolanda.
You're Italian?
Yeah, my dad is Italian. My dad is 100%. Both his parents are from Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom is Canadian. I think her like family history is like French and Scottish.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like Scottish and Irish get to Canadian. Canadian is like not a race, but what? Or is it a race?
It's just it's an ethnicity, I guess.
An ethnicity. I get so confused on that stuff.
A nationality.
A nationality.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that. I get
people from Canada. It's like people here. I mean, people from Canada. Unless they're like literally native Canadians.
Right.
I mean,
they're Canadian by ethnicity.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
nationality.
Otherwise, by nationality. Their ethnicity is from wherever their family came to Canada.
I get all that mixed up. I get mixed up like Canadian and fucking when people say they're Jewish. I always get mixed up. That's if like that's a race.
I mean,
but it's a race.
It's like a religion and an ethnicity.
Yeah.
Because
the Jews are a people.
Yeah.
So I just get thrown off. They'll say it and I'm like, I don't know.
It's not even really a race though, because you could be white, black, or even like Middle Eastern kind of and be Jewish.
That's true.
So it's like
because it just kind of throws me off.
Confusing.
They'll say like Drake is half Jewish.
Yeah, he is. His mom is Jewish.
But that throws me off because it's not a race,
Yeah,
right?
I feel you.
They'll be like, I'm half Christian.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right? Or no? I don't.
No,
let me know.
I understand the confusion.
I'm just confused. I know we're saying we love Kanye and we talk about this, but I'm just saying like I'm confused.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, what were we talking about? My grandma.
Nona.
Yeah, she makes bomb other food too, but her lasagna is like that's her specialty. And to me, that's the 10. That's like the 10 out of 10.
And that's your dad's?
My dad's mom.
From Italy.
From Italy. She was born in Italy.
Where, do you know? I'm trying to get hip to geography.
Italian countryside, like random. I forget the name. It starts with a C, I think. Random little town. She literally stopped going to school after like 3rd grade. And just like worked on a farm. You know what I mean?
Fire.
And then when she was a teenager, I think it was a little while after World War II, her family, after World War II, Italy kind of went to shit.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
So like there was no work there or anything anymore. So her family immigrated to Argentina. My nonno, who's not with us anymore, that's my grandpa. That's
fire.
He also was born and raised in Italy under really similar circumstances. I think he went to school to like 6th grade. And
fire.
Then,
he a genius.
Yeah. By their standards, right?
Yeah. No, by Italy too, because they learn differently. They learn more culture.
Yeah. This was like I don't know, the 1950s or something, right? Late 1940s, and they both their families immigrated to Argentina, and then that's where they met, and my dad was born.
That's fire.
And then they came to Canada when my dad was like 8 years old.
And you've met both them, Nono and Nona?
Yes. Nono passed away when I was like 5.
Okay.
With cancer. So I knew him, but a long time ago.
Right, for sure.
But yeah, my nonna, she's been with us my whole life, and my dad is pretty close with her. So like,
that's
especially when I lived on the East Coast growing up, it was only like 5 hours from Montreal, so we would like drive and cross the border and go see her. Like,
I forget that.
Regularly.
Because you said you also lived in Connecticut?
Connecticut, like an hour from New York City.
That's what I'm saying. I've been to Canada randomly. I went to wherever the most popular place is because I rode Niagara Falls.
Toronto?
Ontario. That's on probably Ontario. I literally rode under Niagara Falls. Like it's like a ride. It's like a Ferris wheel ride.
Yeah.
But I've been there for that, and then I recently, not super recently, but I was in Detroit like a few years ago.
I haven't been to Detroit.
Well, what's weird is like at the end of Detroit, and Detroit's hella like, I don't know what you would call it. It's not super hood, but it's like run down, and it's not getting a lot of love.
Yeah, because like the whole auto industry like moved out of there.
That's what it is. So it's an industrial town, but they're not booming anymore.
Yeah.
So it's weird because like everything's kind of like desolate, like empty. Yeah. But once you hit the very edge, you can see Canada. They have a flag. Like you can like drive across the bridge and you're in Canada.
Yeah.
So that just throws me off because it's just weird because I know they're doing such different things on that side of Canada versus what's going on in Detroit.
Yeah.
Right?
I I mean, honestly,
or you think they're the same? You think they're industrial and like?
Well, oh yeah, maybe not that.
Yeah,
you're right about that. I just meant that culturally, except for Quebec, which is the French part of Canada.
Right. It's one that sounds French too.
Right. Everything else is pretty similar to America, like culturally and like
what they're up to and everything.
Yeah, like if you went to Toronto or Vancouver, you would probably just feel like you're in like the Midwest kind of, because they have like that Midwest kind of accent.
And I was gonna say they have the accent too.
Yeah. But otherwise, like now, I mean, it's another country, so like there'll be like probably like chains you don't recognize, banks you don't recognize,
small things,
like
local things.
Right, but for the most part, you're not gonna feel like you're in like a totally different country. It feels pretty similar to America, but Quebec feels more European. Quebec feels. More
You've been through all of them?
I've only mostly been to Quebec because that's where like almost all of my family lives, and then I have a bit of family in Toronto still. My mom has like some distant family in Vancouver, so I've been to Vancouver.
And Vancouver's like far west.
Yeah, Vancouver
Canada.
is like above us in Canada or in California.
Did you have an accent at any point?
No.
How long were you in Canada?
I was born in Canada, and we moved to the States when I was like 1.5.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
for sure. So you have family there, but you're not from there.
Yeah, I've gone there a ton in my life because my dad's entire family is there, and a good chunk of my mom's family is still there.
Okay.
So my mom has some family that's here in the States too, but so I've always gone back and forth kind of, but yeah, I've mostly lived here, and I've never had a Canadian accent. And also, most of my Canadian relatives, they speak English, but some of them don't, and a lot of them speak like Italian and Spanish too, and a lot of them kind of have like almost Italian accents.
I was gonna say, if anything, they might have like a cultural accent over like a regional accent.
Yeah, or like almost like an Italian American accent, because the Italian Canadian is like similar.
It's like a similar blend.
But they do say "a." They'll be like, but not the way that a normal Canadian says. They'll be like,
they got like some spice on it.
Huh?
I might take that.
Yeah, you know.
Here, but it's blowing hella cold. So before these fucking freeze,
let's try these.
Let's try the mole enchiladas out.
Forgot about them.
They look so bomb, man. I just like,
bro.
They're honestly incredible. It looks like some onions in there.
Yeah, right? It does look good. See, that's nice when you don't even have to cut it. The fork just goes right into it.
Yeah, the actual enchilada is super soft. It is carnitas, which are kind of like, they stay together.
Yeah.
Let's try these out.
Good?
Fire.
Hell yeah.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. That one, their meat alone is just a banger, and their mole is it's closer to sweet. It is like a sweeter mole I've had for sure, but it has that, we were talking about like a earthy richness, taste, like an earthy like richness,
almost like coffee, almost, you know?
Right. That's a good thing to compare to. It's like a cocoa bean almost. Yeah. These are fucking
like
plain.
A raw cocoa bean.
I do think you're right. I think the fucking the quesadilla blew this shit out the water.
Yeah, the quesadilla go crazy.
But you can't get Oaxacan though and not get mole.
No,
I would feel so wrong.
I definitely fuck with that. With coming at it from that angle, I agree with you.
No, it's fucking delicious.
But yeah, man, I love food. Like, honestly, bro, you've been kind of inspiring me, because I'm like, you know what? I love food so much. Like, I should do more food related content just to show that side of myself to people, you know? For
sure. I'm definitely seeing
it's one of my favorite things.
I'm definitely seeing that blow up right now. Food reviews and people doing food stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, it's so interesting / like weird to me, in the same sense I know artists feel, because some people make music their whole life.
Yeah.
And along that, you've sang like since you were a kid and stuff, right?
Yeah, I played instruments.
So like to be that person and make music your whole life, and then you have friends who like one day are like,
pick it up.
I want to make a song.
And
they treat it like this thing you can like pick up and put down.
Yeah.
It's kind of like insulting. And
I feel you.
I feel that way about food, because I know like everyone obviously eats, but since I was a baby, I told my mom I want to review food and get paid for it.
That's cool, bro.
I was 6 years old. My mom made me eggs and I was eating it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom made me eggs and I was eating it, and I was like, man, she helped me make it. So I was like, I love cooking.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at her and I was like, what can I do besides cook? Like, could I get paid just to eat? And she was like, yeah, that's called a food critic.
Food critic, yeah.
And I remember being 6, bro, and I was like, that's the one. Like, everything else is just for fun. I know I do so much that like people are like, oh, you're this.
Right.
But realistically, I'm just having fun.
That's
the
crazy,
food reviewer is like,
I wouldn't have known that.
That's my right. People would be like, bro, you just model for this, or you just shot for this. I
associate you with like modeling and like styling
and clothing, right? Yeah. And all of those came randomly. The food is the only thing that consistently in my life I'm like, I gotta eat. And I gotta share my opinion. That's where I know I'm different. It's not just about eating for me. I have to tell people. I have to like. I get so excited about it. I have to be like, y'all gotta try this shit like ASAP.
Oh yeah.
So seeing people now randomly pick it up and they're like, oh, I'm a food reviewer, but they're also doing real estate or some shit. I'm like, it's a bittersweet feeling because I do learn about foods from these people,
right?
But I'm also like, wow, they're kind of like saturating the culture.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I definitely feel you with music.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about that with music?
Yeah, man. I mean, you summed it up. Like, and I'm not trying to hate on people because, like, I've known people who pick up music and they're very talented, like off the bat, and no one should be blocked. No one should be gatekept from.
And everything's free for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But there's also a lot of people who pick it up and they're not very inclined at it, or they just don't have the same respect for it, maybe.
That, and I was gonna say, I feel like all of us, like true artists, because I feel as an artist as well. I feel like all of us true artists, like we're cool with everything how you said. We're cool with anyone entering the culture, anyone being a part of the culture. I feel like the thing we're all against is the people who have the money to speed through the culture.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna be a guitar player, singer, songwriter, I feel like it's necessary you have those months where like your fingers hurt and you're learning guitar. It's not fair to me when I see like, and it's just like privilege really, but it's just not fair to me whenever I see people like get the greatest guitar player in the world to teach you. You know what I mean? Like, shit, like of course you're gonna win. And that's the thing that kind of hurts, like especially people who don't have that outlet. Like you got a guitar from the pawn shop versus someone got it from like Slash's cousin, or so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just makes it kind of like it's a little like cheating. Not that they're doing it on purpose, but that is like what it is.
There's definitely like more and more nepotism kind of in
especially in the music industry.
In the music industry right now too. But yeah, it's like I try to not let it discourage me or anything like that because at the end of the day, like I believe in destiny and stuff like that. So I think that like the people who I feel like the means, it's about the ends and not the means. Like the people who are meant to.
That's a good point.
Will do it, and will be recognized for it. And a lot of times, from what I've seen, people who do like speed through, like you're saying, or kind of just like have a fast come up, they don't last. Exactly.
You get it fast, you lose it fast.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
You've been saying you're obviously a songwriter and you rap, you drop bars, but even just in this interview, you've been saying cool ass shit, just like good one-liners. Do you have like a favorite quote, one-liner, bar from anyone? It could honestly, and if you have to like break it down to a couple, you can, but it could be a bar from a song. It could be a Leonardo DiCaprio line. It could be a quote from a monk. Like, do you have anything that like, when you heard it, you thought it was crazy and you keep it?
This is just off the top of my head. There's a lot that I could probably say, but
for sure.
I really like I'm probably gonna get this tatted on me, but be like water. I think that's Lao Tzu.
No, is it Bruce Lee?
Is it? I think Bruce Lee. You're right. I'm literally.
He might have took it from Lao Tzu, but I feel like it's Bruce Lee.
But I do like Lao Tzu. That's probably what I thought of him. But but I'm really into like I also like Alan Watts. If you know who Alan Watts is. I
feel like I've seen it. A-L-A-N Watts.
Yes.
But I wouldn't know him.
He's like a more modern, kind of like philosophical, spiritual speaker. I mean, not that modern. He died.
Where's he from? I was gonna say what time and like what place. Because they're always like
England.
I was gonna say they're always like German or something.
He's from England. He has a really interesting story. First of all, he died in like the 70s or something. He was really popular in like the 60s.
Okay.
Maybe he died a little later than the 70s, but he was already an old man in like the 60s when he got popular.
Okay.
He like started as like a preacher, like a Christian preacher, but then he dropped that and went and studied like Zen Buddhism in
that's the way.
I forget what country, but
probably Nepal,
in China,
some bullshit,
or not China, in Asia.
Yeah.
And then and then he came back to America or to the UK or wherever, and he basically just like did a lot of like speaking, just like speak to people.
Just speak to people.
Yeah, and just kind of like share his ideas with him. And he also was like interested. I think he did psychedelics at some point and was interested in that. He has a lot of like really cool wisdom.
You're probably the same. I feel like we have a lot of similarities. That's why we get along. Yeah. But I feel like not the greatest, but a large amount of our philosophers and people we like take quotes from and listen to, they are around that like 60s to 80s point. Yeah. And I think it's because like they were finding out about Buddhism and stuff.
Yeah.
But also doing hella drugs.
Yeah.
And that's like, I always try to preach to people. I don't preach you should do drugs, but I preach that you learn through psychedelics.
Yeah.
No, they want to negate that, but like
I agree with that, bro. I learned a lot just like
I learned like 60% of the way I'm rocking right now.
Yeah,
like
exactly. They changed my life. Like,
and it's not even something like you learn so much, but it's a new way of being. That's how
definitely.
Like you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna be like this. I'm gonna be like this.
Exactly.
And then like you start attracting different shit. So
you start to understand yourself better. You start to understand the universe better.
Right.
Like, you start to understand like I don't know. I mean, honestly, bro, psychedelics. So I was raised Christian, Catholic, because I'm Italian, and I even went to Catholic school and shit in elementary school, and like, you know, there they kind of shove it down your throat, and there's a lot of stuff that made me question it.
Right.
Just like stuff they would say about how you're gonna go to hell if you do this, this, and this, and all this kind of fear mongering.
Right. Good word.
Right.
I forgot about that word.
So that made me kind of like really turned off. And for a while, I was like an atheist. I was like, I don't even believe in God because all this shit sounds like bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, oh damn. but then I did so that was I probably was like 11 or 12 when I was like, fuck religion, like you know what I mean?
I think but then
I did psychedelics.
And it brought you back.
It was like a whole different perspective. And I'd already like gotten a little bit interested in like Buddhism and Taoism and like some other Eastern philosophies.
Right.
And so it kind of all came together at once where I was interested in that. I did psychedelics. But then I went back and actually studied Jesus again. And I was like, yo, Jesus was like, he was like a philosophical genius. Like, I think bro was just misunderstood. And people took a lot of what he said out of context and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you could do your research, but there's a lot of evidence to say that, because the oldest version of the gospel, I read the oldest version of the gospel that like exists is like a Greek version. It's not the original.
Right. It hasn't been
altered.
It's been
translated already.
Yeah.
But even that version, the words that he says when people think he said, I'm the son of God, like he really said, I'm a son of God.
Yeah.
At least according to that text.
Damn. That's a good point.
That already like puts so many things in perspective, because there's a lot of places where Jesus kind of, like, I don't think Jesus ever really separated himself from us. I think he really was just a dude who was super in tune and like understood that like God is in everything and 100%. God is the universe.
Right.
And he was just putting people on, and then like he just was such a powerful speaker and incited so much like kind of rebellion that I think that it made like, you know,
you're gonna build haters.
Yeah, it built haters and doing great. No, Thank you so much.
Just napkins.
I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then not only that, but he kind of got turned into like this mythological figure. Where
supreme
people
being.
built him up to be like maybe bigger than he even said he was.
He ever wanted to be.
And I'm not questioning anybody's religious beliefs or anything like that.
We questioning them. I'm questioning them.
Well, I'm just saying my beliefs. But yeah, but I feel you. But my beliefs are that he's just like Buddha. He was just like, you know, Confucius. Like literally all these people who've had all this wisdom and they were just really tapped in. He was just that tapped in, where it was like he kind of was like one with God almost. You know what I mean?
Man, it's honestly
thank you so much.
It's honestly crazy that you bring this up, and you kind of brought it up at a random. I was talking about drugs,
you're right,
but I feel you. They're the same. They're the same.
Yeah.
Two things I want to say, but I really want to say this is that it's crazy you brought that up and you speak on it that way, because I feel exactly the same.
That's what's
and I always tell people this, that the confused people say follow Jesus.
Yeah.
The wiser people say follow God.
Yeah.
Because if you trace back and you actually get into it, Jesus never. I always like to. I told my girlfriend the other day, Jesus wasn't a Christian.
No. Exactly.
So like for people to say you should be a Christian because of Jesus, they started because of him.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like
he created that movement, and that's what I'm saying about
just
him
being himself.
That's what I'm saying about him being kind of like built up into like this mythological
the top
figure.
Of Christianity, whatever. He didn't even know about it.
No,
it didn't come till later.
He was just talking this shit, bro. Like literally. Like,
and then I love how you said it, because my whole mentality on it is Jesus. I agree. I was religion wasn't pushed on me, but it was whatever.
That's cool.
I became atheist for a little bit.
Yeah. And
then I was like, actually, I kind of rock with God.
Yeah,
and then I had too many like near-death experiences where I was like, nah, something's happening.
Exactly.
And then
you feel it's something you feel. You have to have an experience with it before you can really believe it. I feel like
depending on the person,
divine,
for sure. Yeah, for sure. But after that, I started reading about all of it, and I was like, you know what? Jesus was 1,000% on his shit, and if he's a sign of anything, he's a sign of what it is to have 100% faith.
Yes.
They're like he could do anything because he had faith.
Exactly.
But it's crazy to me. People will be like, they'll put Jesus above God, and I'm like, if you were to bring Jesus here for an interview, he'd be like, I'm just God's homie.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just working in his
say, like,
way.
I'm just a vessel. Like,
right. Which is the correct way to move, because then I was reading today in this book I'm reading, Jay Shetty, fire ass book. But he was saying that like once you understand you're a vessel, the pressure's off.
Yeah.
There's too many people who, like, whether you're like a stockbroker or like you're working because your parents told you to, that they feel so much pressure, and it's because they think it's just them, and if they don't do it, everyone loses. But once you're like, oh, I'm just a vessel and I'm gonna do what I can,
right?
everything becomes a lot like brighter. I feel like, you know, the world becomes a lot more open. People become friendlier. It doesn't feel like
totally
such a rat race to like
totally
get to the
agree.
top.
I mean, your mindset is everything, bro.
Right.
And I mean, even Jesus and the Bible talks about that. It preaches that. Like,
about what?
Like, about your mind being like the most powerful thing. That's what faith is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of religion, because I believe that at least all the ancient religions that have been around for a long time, I'm not talking about maybe like Scientology or some shit like that.
There's too many to name.
Right, but ancient religions, I feel like they all are basically getting at the same
themes.
Point. Like, they're all trying to talk about the same thing. They're just different metaphors. You know,
and also they're just, people don't consider, they're telling it from a different place in the world.
Exactly.
With a different
culture,
language.
Different language.
Different, like,
exactly.
I learned something I thought was so crazy. In English, there's like, I think 4 words for jelly. Yeah. Jelly, jam, preserve.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
marmalade.
Marmalade.
Yeah.
Other cultures and other languages, they just say jelly.
Yeah.
So like you said, if they're gonna say Jesus said he's a son of God, only in English they would be like, no, he said the God. No, he said my God. No, he said your. You know what I mean? They're gonna get so literal.
And that's the other thing. Like, the Bible has been translated 1,000,000 times, bro, and a bunch of different people helped write it. So it's like, you have to. We're all human. Like, you know what I mean?
You gotta. It's like, have you played that game? I played it whenever I was in like 2nd grade, but it's called like telephone.
Yeah, exactly.
You tell a story.
That's the best.
And then you tell one, and then just from one person,
changes a little bit.
It changes one word.
Yeah.
And then by the end, it's like the blue elephant, different. Whatever. Yeah. That shit. I'm just like, bro. I know we get it. I'm just consistently shocked that some people don't get that.
I'm glad we're talking about it though, because I want to talk about this more on a public forum, because I love to talk about this kind of shit, and this is like deeper than like music is my passion, but this my purpose.
Sometimes it just needs to be spoken.
Yeah, my purpose is just to like spread like love and understanding, I feel. So like, I'm glad we're talking about this. And it's funny because like when I was at your crib one time, I saw Lao Tzu, what's the book?
Tao Te Ching.
Yeah, the Tao Te Ching. Like, and I was like, okay, hell yeah.
I remember you called it out. Yeah. You called it out, and I was like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, you know what it is?
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, I was actually, before I dropped out of school, I was a philosophy major in college. Oh, that's crazy.
I switched from philosophy to psychology. I got a psychology degree.
Yeah.
But philosophy was my shit. And then, like, you know, the thing that fucked me up, and it used to fuck me up a lot, is I let people get in my head that in 2023, you can't make money with philosophy.
Yeah.
Well, it's harder. Crazy. You have to, like, go to, like, a random village. You can't really like. Yeah. There's no jobs catered to it like out here.
I feel like it's kind of a broad degree. I have heard some people say like, oh, it like gives you critical thinking and shit. So it can like, for certain like jobs that aren't like necessarily philosophy related, but like might involve that, you could like maybe use it. But yeah, I feel you, bro. That's why ultimately I dropped out of college, because I knew I wanted to do music. I felt like I was wasting my time in school. I really liked philosophy, so I love philosophy. All my philosophy classes, I would show up and I would listen,
do the homework and
into
shit.
It. Yeah, exactly. But it was all the other shit that was like, all right, fuck this shit. Like,
okay, another thing I wanted to talk about, just because I forgot what your name is for a second, and then we started talking about drugs, and I was like, oh shit, your name is Trip Rexx.
Literally.
What does that come from? Like, how did you come up with that combo?
Yo, it's funny because like that name came about before I had even done psychedelics.
Before music too?
Not before music.
Okay.
No, it came. That name.
Yeah, give me the whole breakdown. Give me the whole.
Yeah, so I had been rapping since I was like 13 or 14, and I didn't really have like a rap name. I was like going by my middle name at one point, and then
what is that?
Scott, but I was going Scotty. I was just calling myself Scotty.
That's fire.
It's cool. It was like, right. But then and then I was just using my regular name for a little while, and then I was like, I need like an actual like name, like artist name, yeah,
a persona.
So I was thinking about it, and I came up with Rexx first because I always liked dinosaurs as a kid.
Sick.
I'm a big Raptors fan, and it just sounded cool. I was
Damn,
like, that's a cool...
I forgot the Raptors.
Yeah. I was like, that sounds like a cool last name, like something Rexx. So I was like playing with different shit, and randomly my dad was like, "What about Trip Rexx?" I think we were in the car, like I was talking about it to him, and he was like, "Oh, what about Trip Rexx, like T-Rex?" And I was like, "That's fucking hard." So then I just was like, okay, that's cool. I like that name. So I started rocking with it.
And you hadn't done a psychedelic?
I had smoked weed, but I had never.
Did he know you smoked weed?
He probably did at that time, like honestly, because my dad caught me smoking weed when I was like 15 one time.
Yeah.
So I think because I think this was when I was like 16. So
did he smoke weed?
Not back then. Now he does. I've now since then I've smoked weed with my dad, but he was super anti-weed until it got like legalized, and then he was like, okay. But But yeah, so and then when I did psychedelics, I was like, damn, that's crazy. It was almost like
It had to happen.
yeah, it was like it almost just lined up. You know what I mean? Which
That's cool.
you know,
And you honestly bring me to a point, and I wanna ask about it because
yeah,
you said that you were in the car with your dad and you're talking to him about it.
yeah.
Has your dad always been open to your dreams and your artistry?
No.
So did y'all work to that point? Because that sounds like when you said that story, honestly, he sounded really cool. Like he sounded like a
that
very
is
like
cool, and it's
supportive
funny
dad.
looking back on it. It's funny, like my parents were never against me making music.
Right,
They always supported that.
right,
Where my dad and I did not line up, at least until very recently,
yeah,
was that he did not think that it was something that I could do as a career.
Mm.
So he was happy to like talk to me about it, and
Okay.
like, he would encourage
that's a
me.
hobby.
Yeah, he would be like, yeah, like it's cool, like keep doing it. But when I would tell him, like, because when I was in high school, I knew I wanted to be an artist, but I was like in a situation where my parents were putting so much pressure on me to like go to college and get a career that I like didn't even really want to like straight up tell them like I want to be
It
an
would have
artist.
been like it would have been awkward.
Yeah, because my dad would always say to me like that's not realistic. Like,
Right.
You can't do that as like a career. Yeah, if I even like mentioned like wanting to be a musician as like a career, they would always be like, "Oh, that's like a 1 in a million chance." Like that's like
That's crazy. They told you
Yeah.
like
yeah. Looking back on it, I'm like,
that's
damn,
crazy. It's
why'd y'all
hurtful.
put that in
They're
my
being
head?
realistic,
Like,
but it's hurtful.
yeah, exactly. So honestly, my dad and I had a decent amount of tension about me dropping out of college and me like pursuing what I'm pursuing for a while. It wasn't until like I had like I guess tangible things to show him
Right.
that like I had been making real progress and stuff, and
Right.
then he kind of changed on it, and now he's a lot more supportive.
Well, he's pretty open minded. Is your mom the same?
Yeah, my mom has always been a more like she came around to it a lot quicker.
She was rocking with you.
Yeah,
Whatever
she
Trip wanted to
always
do.
liked my music, and it didn't take that long after me dropping out of college for her to be like, yeah, I think you can do this. Like, you know what I mean? So my mom is really supportive. Like, shout out to my mom. I love her so much.
Shout out, mama.
Yeah, but so yeah, she didn't. You know, there was a time where she was like, "Oh, I don't know if that's realistic," but I think it might have been more my dad's influence, and then
For sure.
they split up. So like, once she was single, I feel like she was more on board with it.
Damn, that's wild. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Shit, we're almost kind of at a close. I do have a gift for you though.
What's
Super
up? You
hype.
got a gift for me?
Yeah, got a little something.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
I hope so. I hope I got that bitch. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Cool. Somebody came and snatched it.
Right. The way people have been looking at my camera setup and stuff,
Oh,
I'm like, y'all
shit.
finna take it or what? Yeah, this is a gift box.
Hell yeah.
Sponsored. Well, yeah. Let me say that this is a gift box sponsored by Smoking Paper,
Hey,
especially
fuck
for
yeah.
you because
Thanks,
you're Trip
bro.
Rexx and you smoke and you get your thing on. So check it out.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate this, man. This
Yeah,
is dope.
of course. Thanks Smoking Paper.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to
they hit
Smoking
you with
Paper.
a
Thank you
very
to
fun goodie bag.
AK. Yo, this is sick. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We got papers. We got the wraps.
Some new
we
hip
got
stuff, yeah.
lighters. This is
Everything
the whole
so you
set.
can smoke cleanly.
Everything I need. Oh, are these banana flavored?
Yeah, they got a whole
Hell
bunch of
yeah.
stuff in there, bro. Different cones.
Shout out
Yeah.
Smoking Papers.
Yeah,
Bro.
no, they definitely hit you with a good hookup.
This is dope, bro.
We talked
Thank
to
you
them,
so
said
much,
like
man.
we're gonna do this interview with you, and like this is their gift. So
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate this.
bruh, thanks for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me.
Are you gonna fuck up one of these?
Honestly, I do kind of want.
I know you want that one. All right, I'm gonna let you get that one to go.
You can have this though if you want.
I'm
bro.
gonna finish this, but
Yeah.
while I finish, please let the people know like what you have coming up,
Yes, sir.
what your goals, dreams, ambitions are, if you have new stuff on the way, and just what's going on like in your life in general.
Yeah, so once again, I'm Trip Rexx, TRIPREXX, every platform. I got new music coming out this summer. I'm gonna have some singles dropping. I'm playing a lot of shows lately here in LA, but in other states too. So check in with me on social media or on Spotify and stuff, and you can see where I'll be playing near you. I got an album out that's been out since last summer called Blue Planet. Check that out. And I got some music with this dude coming out, at some point. So,
No, we got music. It's just I'm a perfectionist in my music, so like
yeah, I feel that.
until I'm ready.
No,
until
I feel you. No rush, no
like
rush.
Wayne hits me and it's like I'm gonna
Hell
need you
yeah.
to drop it.
Hell yeah.
I ain't dropping that
That's
shit. Like
what's up, bro. I fuck with that. But yeah, man, just tap in with me, and shout out to AK for having me. This is my guy. He's cool as fuck. So.
Thanks for sitting down. I'm Akadaj AK. This was Eating with
Trip Rexx. Let's go.
Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you, baby.
Hell yeah, bro. That was fun as fuck.
Yeah, I fucking love